Well met. I am Elminster of Shadowdale, at your service. And I believe you are about to embark on another episode of Rod and Flagon. This is one of these, how shall I put it, a gallimaufry of verbiage with two rogues who are not to be trusted, but then that's all of us, isn't it? In life, you should only believe what you can prove for yourself. Everything else is trusting someone. So ask yourself as you listen, you trust these gentlemen? Some of you may. Some of you may regret. Who knows? But listen on.
Be quiet, stop talking. It's time to listen to Rod and Flagon, so you don't die.
Hello, everyone, and we're
buddy.
back.
We're back.
Hey, Swanee, we're back. Can you believe it?
I know, right?
Hey, I just want to apologize to everyone. I know it's been a little while, but, look, things happen. We got stuff to do. Swan has stuff to do. I typically don't have anything to do.
That's
I
true.
do this all the time. Hello, everyone. This is Rod and Flag, and I, of course, am Oliver Red Boots, and I am here with my good friend and adventuring companion. Swanee, tell everybody about yourself.
I am Swan Malsmith, safety officer of the Temple of Gond. Praise God.
Praise God, indeed. And what a week. It's really popping in the yawning portal today, right?
It is jumping. I don't know what's going on.
I saw Durnan earlier, and, hold on a second. Is that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, it is. It's
Oh,
him.
He's coming over our way.
It's the
Oh,
walrus.
he knows we're talking about him, too.
Okay,
What do we
be
do?
cool.
All right,
Be cool.
All right,
All right.
act casual. Yep. So, hello, everyone. Yeah, Rod and Flagon, adventuring stuff. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Mirt the Moneylender at your service.
boy.
And who might you be?
Oh, hello, Mirt. We've met a few times. My name is Oliver Red Boots. Hello. Good to see you again, sir. How are you?
I didn't recognize you with a smile on your face and facing in my direction as opposed to running away.
Oh.
Yes, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
That happened one time, Mirt. One time. I can't...
Well, I mean, a couple times, to be fair.
Swan, you're not helping.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would... Mirt, what's happening, man? It's good to see you. How's things?
It's good to see you, too. Things are, well, just between you and me, things are variable.
Variable.
Yes.
Does
Do you-
Durnan knows you're here, right? Like, he's brought some drinks over. I'm sure we can arrange that, too, right? Like, I hope
Oh,
you-
yes, I'll just, Durnan, the usual.
Yeah, Durnan seems to know everything. I know you guys are old compatriots, so I won't presume that he does not know you're here. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. He clocked me the moment I came in the door. He is married, He has children to look out for, and
Right, of course.
I
he is.
have a reputation for hurling men around the place and so on, and he needs to know when I'm going to start the festivity.
Is
Checks
it
out,
no
yeah.
festivities at this table right now, right? But we're not gonna. I don't really want to get thrown again. It's not really.
Oh, no. We're between friends, so what we'll throw is, empty tankards when we don't get them refilled in time. Stuff like that.
That makes
All
perfect
right,
sense. Would
I
you like
like
to join
this.
us for a little while? We're doing that Rod and Flagon thing. That you.
Oh,
do you remember
sure. Yes.
that? Have a seat. We would love to join you.
No, thank you. I've eaten already, but I will sit down.
Do you see the flagon right there with the thing in it? That's the mechanism that Swanee designed to like cast our voices throughout the realms and to
Oh, so it's not
Dreadlodge.
the...
And the first time we sat down here, the young lady did pour the ale into it, and that got a little sticky.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was super sticky and gross. I cannot believe we're talking to Mirt.
Are you fanboying right now, Swan?
What? No, come on. How dare you?
Oh my God! Come on, act like you. When you're around people like this, you should act like you've done it before. Now, come on, mate.
Excuse me, the clerics of Gond do not fanboy, except Gond.
Really? You
Well,
were like this around Kelvin that time we met him too. You were like this around Illustrial the time we met her.
Well, I'm like that around Illustrial.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay,
excuse
that
me.
one checks out.
Yes, nice lady. High-standing, up-falutin lady, yes. The
Are you
Black
still
Staff.
working with Laeral?
Oh, yes.
I knew it.
Yes. I mean, she lives in my house. I mean, it's her house now, but, I never surrendered it. And I know my own entrances, and I have the apartments where I used to entertain visitors, shall we say. So I just use one of those myself. So, yes, we work together. I raid the larder at all hours, and I occasionally find her raiding the larder larder at all hours.
Really? Laeral does not seem to strike me as the radiant larger type. I feel like she would just have something brought up to her, or just manifest.
These celebrities are just like us.
Yeah, like what? Can you tell us, like, out of curiosity? This is pure curiosity.
Yes.
And I promise, we won't tell anybody, but I'm sure someone will find out. What's a secret that you don't think anybody else knows about? Like, not like where she keeps the treasure and that type. Like, what's a secret that no one else seems to know about Laeral? I'd really love to know something like that. Like, what's one of those things that no one knows about Laeral, but would love to know?
I barely know what I dare say. Okay, first of all, for any of the seven, don't look too closely at their, how shall I put it, chests.
Right, respectful, yes.
Because...
Yeah, if you want to stay alive, maintain eye contact and do not break the horizon.
Yes, because when you're carrying 3 wands and you don't want them to be sheathed where everybody can see them, you either sheath them up the sleeves of your flaring sleeve gown, or you sheath them horizontally underneath the breastworks. And so therefore...
oh yeah, this is pretty common. Did you not know this?
No, of course I didn't know that. Did Lucian know this?
So therefore, the high fashion gowns have little slits in the sides so they can reach in and draw in a hurry.
So all of those balls we've been to, all of those ladies have been armed with wands of like some type of magical.
Oh yes, yeah.
Really? So she could have just exploded me when I'm talking all that trash and just like being
Well, I dare say she could, but they usually don't explode you; they viscid glob you.
Oh God, Swanee, I need you to remind me of this thing the next time I'm popping off at one of those balls, and
You should pretty much just always assume everybody there has a way to disenglob you.
I'm gonna need to ask Lucy if I can learn the disenglob spell.
I always kind of assumed, based on how gaudy your formal robes are, that they had sort of wand storage ability.
How dare you assume about my wardrobe, sir?
Well, all you need do is carry a flask about you. I have one here, you see, because with a sufficiently strong alcohol, viscid glob just melts away.
Which is kind of creepy because it used to be a person. No. So I guess we should preface a little bit there, Mirt. I'm sorry. So typically we give advice to young adventurers, based on our own life experiences on the road. For me and Swan adventured for around 30 years, Swanee?
Yeah, 30 years, everywhere from the spine of the mountain down to the border towns.
Yeah. We had our run-ins with the Zent and with, we had a particular skill set when it came to cult. For some reason, people called us when they wanted to end a cult's activities in a region. Yeah, we had a niche. And I don't know where that came from, other than, well, Swan's really good at the undead, right? Because he has if he has a target, man, that's it. And Swanee's an artist when it comes to the undead. But so we give questionable advice to younger adventurers. Well, my advice is certainly questionable. I imagine Swanee's is useful.
Yes, Mirt. If you wouldn't mind, we get this question more than any other question, to be honest with you. I mean, young adventurers want to know what they need to do to be prepared, what to be ready for if they go into Undermountain.
Oh, we get that question all the time. I think it's because we're in the Yawning Portal, right? And you take the gold down, you take the gold up, right? And for some reason, young adventurers always have like this, this spark in their eye when we talk about Undermountain. And I mean, you're an Undermountain pro, right? You're royalty as far as it comes to Undermountain. Well, Durnan too. Hey, Durnan. Oh, all right.
Well, you're in the place that Durnan bought with the pile he brought out of Undermountain, and he brought that pile out of Undermountain on my back. He couldn't have carried it off. Well, okay, Durnan was younger than I was, and Durnan was more muscular and strong than I was, but there's a limit to how many chests full of gold that one man can carry. In Durnan's case, it's 3, 1 under each arm and 1 on his back. So he had no hands left for the chest of gems, which was worth more than all of those chests of gold put together. So I had to take charge of it, and how was I to know that it was full of gems? And how was I to know that I had more wealth in my hands than all of Waterdeep had contained until now? And how was I to know that when I claimed just that one little chest, Durnan would feel that he'd been hard done by?
Mirt, I just want to get it on record. Are you suggesting you did in fact not look in the chest as you carried it up?
What did I tell you before about not looking at chests?
Yeah. Oh, it's a fair point. All right, sir. Yeah.
You see, if you pursue a consistent policy,
Right.
then you never act out of character.
Yeah,
And
right.
therefore you never tip someone off. Why is he suddenly looking for secret doors? He never does that. So you just behave the same way all the time. So
Right,
all
a
these people who
consistent
want,
line. Yep.
yes,
Uh-huh,
yes. So
uh-huh,
when you want to go into Undermountain, all those young people just say, "Yeah, just jump down that shaft. We'll
Just
collect.
jump down that shaft. Yeah.
We'll
I mean, the
collect your
problem is-
bones afterwards."
What's the worst that could happen?
A troll typically will crawl out of it every now and then. But I gotta tell you, Swanee, we haven't seen a troll in quite some time, except for that one that came up several weeks ago. And
Yeah, he was a mean sucker, and actually really quick on his feet.
I was so drunk. Yeah, I was so drunk. And like, people don't understand how fast the adventurers that here will just descend upon things as if it's almost like a sporting event.
Yeah, it's go time in this place.
Oh no! Oh boy! It's time to go, everyone. And watching just a house hammered wizard try to cast a spell at a troll, even though it's a large target, it's just magical occurrence. Like, well, no pun intended, but you get the point, right?
Yes. No, I totally understand that. Yes. If you're going to do hammering, you need dwarves for that.
Or clerics of God. I do have to give
Holla at
credit
you,
where
boy.
credit is due.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
So when Durnan came back up, and you guys came back up from Undermountain, just out of curiosity, like what? I know you said you had a chest full of gems that rivaled all of Waterdeep's treasures. Like how much exactly? Like, is there like a number? Do you have any left? I'm just curious. I have no.
Oh, yes. The chest of gems at fair market value of the time. Now, this was years ago, mind you, so it would be worth a lot more today.
All right, let me take a drink here. I get a sense I'm going to need it.
42 million gold pieces. So, of course, I bought myself new boots.
Yeah, boots, right?
And, well,
Boots that just happen to come with a city.
well, if you look down, you'll notice that that was a fair time ago. And then of course I rented myself a nice young lady to pull those boots on for me, because when you have a rotund
Right. It's tough to
figure
get down there.
like myself, yes, and seeing what you're doing down there, so I paid someone very well to go down there into the noisome stench and see what was going on down there. She did come up.
Right. I mean, she come up several degrees richer, I imagine, as well, right?
Oh yes. Yes. You can. Oh no, you can't meet her anymore. She did retire to Silvery Moon. Until about 2 months ago, you could have met her, but she's very elderly now. Those potions of longevity only carry you so far.
I don't know. It seems that they've carried you and Durnan quite far.
Well, yes. That is one of our little trade secrets.
Yeah, I would never ask you to reveal that, but it is quite amazing.
It's been for me. I managed to pass a century magical status, as you'll understand. But Durnan and I had, in fact, imbibed 6 potions of longevity each before that, down the years, you understand. So the Durnan you see today is indeed the same young, handsome, thinking man's Conan that I
Terrifying.
would admit. Yes. He just pretends to be his own great grandson. He's not, you know.
No doubt. Me and Swanee kind of picked up on that quite some time ago. But I think every time I bring that kind of thing up, I always feel that Durnan is an inch away from removing my head from my shoulders. So, we've kind of learned to just kind of let Durnan do his own thing. And he's actually been very polite. Some of the birds that come to Rod and Flagon actually get delivered straight to the Yawning Portal. And he's kind of collated them for us recently and given us our own little, area to kind of just carve out in the second floor of the Yawning Portal. Very kind of him, actually. And I think it's because even our dumbness seems to drum up business for him, and he's a shrewd businessman.
Yes, Durnan is a shrewd businessman. I am not, which is why I am, as you see, a fine figure of a man, and I work for Laeral.
Okay, young adventurers, I do need to preface this. Okay, listen, Mirt's being very humble right now. If you think that he is not, in fact, a shrewd businessman, just be careful. Every now and then, just check that out. That's a tip from old Bootsy here.
Here's the thing: if you go adventuring in the right place and you stumble upon more gold pieces than you can count in your remaining life, and then you are halfway sensible about it, and you buy up, say, 40 ships, good merchant ships, and about as many warehouses in port cities up and down the Sword Coast for them to call at, and then you buy fine houses in all of those cities, and you still have money left to burn, and then you rent them all out to people because you can't possibly infest more than one house at a time yourself. How can you fail to make money, particularly when you have enough left over that any tax collector who gets too annoying, or any king or grand vizier who passes policies that send those tax collectors to become overly annoying, you just pay enough to have them removed. Oh, I mean,
right. No, you pay them enough to have them divert their attentions elsewhere. Right.
What
Yes,
taxes?
that's
We haven't
yes.
seen any taxes.
And so it's not so much being shrewd as being, how can I possibly not become richer with this? It takes wealth to make wealth, and I know a fool and his money are soon parted, and I was indeed parted with the money, but I bought stuff with it, and the stuff earns me rents, and this is how the toad-like rich people in your community got that way, and stay that way.
Yeah, it's because they don't ever let that wealth go. It's kind of annoying. It's like at a certain point, even an old wizard becomes like an old dragon. Why are you keeping all of this wealth to yourself? This is not necessary. So I have a policy. Anything I've found adventuring, hey, come get it. I'll pay you with it. I don't care. I just gave 2 adventurers each Cape of the Mont Blanc last week. Because we've taken on quest giving. Right? We've taken on quest giving. It's one of the things that we're doing. So again,
you give quests?
every now and then,
yeah.
we just
We do that
My
some
goodness,
people-
I tell some of those people I see out there adventuring, give it back.
Well, that's probably not bad advice either, young adventurers. Always get paid up front, and if
Always
it's a
up
shit
front.
adventure, give it back.
Yes,
if
give it
it's
back.
a garbage quest, give it back.
Yes.
You don't want to fetch quests. Everyone hates
stupid.
fetch quests. No one likes them. I paid up front too. No, you can't pay us in exposure. You can't pay us in, it's going to make you famous. That's ridiculous. Pay with gold.
Yeah. People
or
don't
gems.
want to pay me in exposure. They take one look at me and say, no, put that away. No. I was going to say, if you heat up the toasting fork sufficiently before you plant your tax collector bum down on it, he's too busy sizzling as
To
you
divinate.
to spin him around and around on the toasting fork to concentrate. And I understand you have to concentrate for most of these spells.
Oh, indeed, I hear that. Yeah, well, not all of them, but yes. So, Mirt, just out of curiosity, if you could give a young adventurer advice, just straight off the cuff, about Undermountain, about that one indispensable piece of advice that you just
Run now!
Run! No one to run.
Okay.
No,
That's
one
actually
to
not
run.
a bad. We've given that advice as well.
Okay. Let me think though. Okay, here's you go. So, are you of negotiable morals, and do you think you can keep yourself alive against, say, drow, mind flayers, things of that? Then go down to Skullport and become a go-between, errand runner, and it's steady work. It's like being, what do they say on Earth, a long-distance trucker. You cannot fail to, the work is steady. It's like all of these religions who want you to wait for their Messiah. The pay may be lousy, but the work is steady.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
one way. Now, if you want to make things in the conventional way of going down into a dungeon, bringing back loot, what I would recommend is you avoid Undermountain and you go into the associated side level, the Dungeon of the Crypt,
Oh my goodness, I forgot all about the dungeon.
which gets its name from being entered from the right crypt in the City of the Dead. Now, don't get caught trying to enter the crypt, because the way in, you have to lift the right sarcophagus, and the stairs are underneath it.
Well,
Don't-
that's a inside the lines tip there, Mirt.
Yes,
That's
yeah. Don't get caught opening it by day, because the watch don't like that, and don't get caught anywhere near the City of the Dead after dark unless you're really good at necromancy, because the undead will just overwhelm you. It will be like the worst third date of your life.
I've been on that third date, Mirt. I've been on that third date. Wow. Mirt, we actually have I don't know. I'm going to segue hard here, Mirt. So that was good advice.
That was
I want to know.
I'm good at hard segues. Let me just. That's what you have codpiece with landing lights and turn signals for. Hard segues.
He's talking, so I've heard mention of this Earth before, but I didn't think it was real. But I forgot that you were one of the few people that have actually been there.
Oh, yes.
You've had conversations with other members of the older mage. We'll say it, the cadre of elder mages, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Oh, yes. Many of the seven. Because you see, Elminster liked to introduce them. To him, they're arm candy. You know, these
So
gorgeous woman with silver hair, silver like the metal. It catches the eye, you know.
Yeah, I do know. I've seen Electrion. Oh my goodness! But I do want to just give a quick to younger adventurers who don't know. You should really look into them because they're super powerful. The seven are the seven sisters who were touched by.
Look into them from a safe distance. That is.
Right. When I say look at maybe like from a library, whatever.
Yes, that
right?
would be it.
And learn about them. Don't go. Yeah, right. But they were touched by the goddess of magic. It's a whole thing, and I don't want to spoil anything. You should really go look into them. My favorite. Don't tell Elminster. Was the symbol. I met her long ago because I'm not exactly as young as I look.
The symbol was my favorite when I was safely 2 kingdoms away. So.
Right. I have a weakness for the crazy. You know what I mean? Like I need a little dash of lunacy every now and then.
Oh, she was crazy. The thing about the symbol is she would shape change often. So you could never be sure that bird on your windowsill watching you entertain, say, a chambermaid, you could never be sure that wasn't the symbol checking up on you.
And about to just smite you from anywhere. Yeah.
Yes, sure. It completely changes your life. You have to cleave to the straight and narrow, and cleaving gets more and more painful as one gets old. As you slide down the razor blade of life.
She was brilliant, though. Ah, goodness. Yeah. So, the seven, young adventurers. I highly recommend you look into that. It's brilliant. Another thing, we're just glossing over a lot of the fact that we're assuming that everybody knows who Elminster is. It's the old mage of Shadowdale, of course. Another thing you should look up in a library. Don't go searching him out. He's just not going to end well for you. So if you could, so this shows, the premise, basically, was the magistrates asked me to do this because I blew up too much of Waterdeep. So I'm sure you've heard that I did cause that fire in Trollskull Alley. I ended up having to buy that building. It's a whole thing. I don't know.
I was going to say which fire in Trollskull Alley, but yes, I think I know which one now. Yes.
Yeah, the big ass one with all of it's a whole thing. Right?
You should go to the right temple if you have fire coming out of your ass.
I know. Well, I'd go to the clerics of Gone. Yeah.
Actually, we have a solve for that, and whichever acolyte we tend to like the least is the one we put in charge of applying it to those in need, because on occasion you're applying it to someone of significant size, and there have been known to be some accidents, if I'm honest.
And they found the acolyte's legs sticking out, waving feebly.
We found the salve, but not the acolyte. That's weird.
Right, I realize I'm putting you on the spot here. It's a bit of a hard segue myself. One of the things that we do on this show is that we have a bit we call Don't Poke the Owlbear, right? Where people write in and tell us ways in which their adventuring partners have died in unfortunate or crazy ways. And we use it as sort of a cautionary tale, right? Be aware that, you're walking into this kind of a situation and you could die. Like, people have died this way. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but do you have sort of a story that you might be able to share of someone, a young adventurer, not even an adventurer maybe, that died unexpectedly on you?
Well, I can tell you one that occurred to me that involved my own mansion. Up at the top of the mansion is a sort of cupola of windows, but I made a little glass dome. So a skylight, if you will. And I hired some new chaps because we discovered that the birds like this cupola a lot. And after a while, you get tired of staring at what comes out of the rear end of the bird, splattered all over what used to be your nice windows, giving you a view up the side of Mount Waterdeep. So I hired this guild firm, the Glaziers Guild, to wash my windows. And darned if they didn't send some of their young, eager beavers to impress me with how quickly they could scrub. And they scrubbed
I see where this is going already.
They scrubbed the outside just fine. And then they swung open the windows and swung inside to scrub the inside. And I started picking up their shattered bodies from the hard marble floor 60 feet below those windows and calling on the guild, sending a runner to the guild to come and collect their ex-apprentices.
Or what was left of them? Or like, did they have to bring a jar to scoop them into?
Yes. Well, they actually used a barrow.
Yes.
I had a wheelbarrow because from the gardens, you understand.
Right.
But I just shoveled it all into a barrow and sent it back to them. They were most displeased.
You know, we've talked about that on the show. For the life of me, I don't understand why every tradesperson that has to get on a rooftop or clean a chimney in this city doesn't have a Ring of Featherfall issued to them when they join their guild, or is it they don't give it to the apprentices. You have to make it into the guild itself before you get your Ring of Featherfall.
That's it exactly. That's how they winnow out the real chuckleheads. Because as you see, in Waterdeep as everywhere else, it's much worse in Alm and just totally off the charts in Kalimshan, nepotism. So you get somebody's idiot son because he doesn't know what causes sons, or he likes to practice too much. So he ends up with 18 of them, and then he doesn't know what the middle 6 will do aside from eat him out of house and home. So he places them as apprentices everywhere, regardless of their own skills, if any, and the guilds get this from all sides. So they send all the acolytes and apprentices out, and if they survive long enough to become journeymen, then they start getting all the goods.
Of course. That's when they get the Ring of Featherfall, Swanee. That's when you get it. You don't get it. You don't start with a ring, right?
Yeah.
I did
so
notice that.
for the last few weeks, I've had to join the it's almost embarrassing to say this, Mirt, because I'm sure you've heard of it already. So I've had to travel around with a water elemental putting out fires as part of the mages and protectors. I'm pretty sure the water elemental is annoyed at me because I end up starting more fires than we actually put out when I'm out there. And I didn't know water elementals had like feelings and like, you know, they can emote.
They have feelings.
And the mages and protectors that are so damn judgmental, right? Like, I'm doing this as a favor for you assholes. I don't need you. And I've seen that nepotism in person. You know, that young child that can barely cast.
I beg to differ. Every ass needs its hole.
Yeah, well, they have one. They have several, both of those. In higher ranks than they rightly deserve. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not casting aspersions in the Lords of Waterdeep, you know.
No. Yes, we don't cast aspersions.
No.
We just hammer them to death on the table and say, there's your aspersions right there.
I've been known to bring them up a time or two. All right, Swanee, do you think we should get some fresh drinks, and we'll bring the old wolf a bottle of something special from the bar?
Absolutely. What can I get for you, Mirt?
Oh, certainly. I'll have Shireen. She's right there on the end.
All right. Well, we'll be back, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with more merch just right after this. And don't die.
And if you do die, do it quietly. Don't disturb.
Listen to him. He really does actually know what he's talking about. All right, and we're back. Fresh drinks in hand. Hey, Mirt, thanks for sticking around. We really appreciate it.
No problem. It's a nice, comfortable chair. You're good fellows.
Oh, we do our best. And I can't believe that Durnan comped the drinks. That's not something he normally does, right? Like, I haven't... Swanee, he's not comped our drinks in a long time.
That is a hard no on free booze.
It must be.
I probably had something to do with that.
I imagine you did. So, Swan, I feel like we should take advantage of this wealth of adventuring knowledge and ask a few more questions. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not missing this opportunity. So, Mirt, you know, a lot of the questions that we get are around magic items and magic weapons, and I was wondering if there are magic items or magic weapons that you are essential. You can't really live without.
Well, the luck blade full of wishes is always it never comes amiss because it's so versatile. You could use it for any little predicament.
But when you cast wish, I cast wish one time and I couldn't walk for 2 months, and I don't think I can do it ever again.
Yes, well, here's the thing. There's favorite magic items, and then there's the magic item you need at that moment. And then you see, although magic's a wonderful thing, I'm not predisposed to trust it. It's not my, what is it they say, jam. I prefer more underhand things. The heel of my boots, that the heel becomes the hilt of the dagger, whose blade is in the sole of the boot. You just pull it off and thrust it into some. The push dagger, which is my belt buckle. The cuffs here of needles up both my wrists that are all tipped in various little venoms and poisons that make you go to sleep, or give you convulsions, or make you need visit the garderobe in a hurry, or make you babble, or just go blind for a little while. These are all handy.
Yeah, that explains a lot. The last time I shook your hand. Yeah.
Yes, well, you see, when you're dealing with how shall I put it, an absolute prick, the right thing to do is to give him a deft little prick with the right needle. And then you need no unpleasantness. There's no overturned tables. There's no smashed crockery. He's just down for the count, and you walk away, and it's all over.
There's a certain elegance to it, right?
Yes.
I like it.
I have always been envious of that kind of efficiency and that kind of elegance, because, deep down, I'm a magic hammer to the face kind of a problem, but, that kind of being able to do that is just special.
Yeah, I mean, Swan does have a type. I would say that.
Well,
also,
yes.
the pragmatism of just having many, many blades on you at all the time seems that it could be effective. That's again, young adventurers. Underestimate the older adventurers at your peril.
Yes, and there are times, let's face it, when you don't want to create mayhem because you're going to have to clean up the mess afterwards.
Or pay for it. Yeah, that's indeed.
Yes, or pay for it. Yes. So there are times when you don't want to upend the neighborhood, upset the neighbors, scare the horses, I think was the phrase.
Start a fire.
Yes, yeah. You don't want to start a fire. That's it exactly.
So I gave Swanee one of my Cape of the Monponks that he just wears constantly, and every now and then he will just bamf around the Yawning Portal for no damn reason at all. It's one of the only magic items that I think I've ever seen you use, other than your leg, of course, and your magical hammer.
It's true. I mean, I'm more apt to be a godly magic kind of a person, but I do love me the Cape of the Montbach, because I just love being here, and then boom, I'm there. It just tickles me.
Yeah. I mean, it has saved my life quite a few times. That's why I collected them for a little while. I had basically an entire divan, an entire wardrobe full of the damn things. And now I give them away as quest items to younger adventurers. It's hey, I need you to go get it. Sometimes I don't even need the thing that they're going to go get me. I just want to get away one of these stupid capes. And it's for this quest, I need you to go get me an egg sandwich from down the road at my favorite bodega. And then, now here you go. Here's your payment, or whatever. Or go to Silvery Moon and bring me back that lemonade that I like. Whatever it is, just here, take a cape. Off, I don't care.
It's true, Mart. He gives away these magic items for the silliest things, and then he wonders why his house gets broken into so often.
Well, not locking it, I think, is actually how it got broken into. But, hey, you steal some from me. Don't act like I can't find you.
That is true. We've talked about this in the past, young adventurers. Don't go breaking into Boot's house. It's not a good plan.
Hey, Mirt, after this is over, I wouldn't mind your advice on something. I have this chest that I can't get the damn thing open, and I don't know what's in there. And I'm afraid if I do get it open, something bad will happen. It's often when you find an arcane locked chest that's basically impervious to natural openings.
Why don't you just take the chest to the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors?
That's what I've done, and that's how I've ended up being basically a firefighter now with that stupid water elemental that keeps judging me. And that son of a bitch is splashing me. I know he's doing it on purpose. Getting my lower boots and britches wet. I know he's doing it on purpose, that son of a bitch. But they told me that they could help me, but then, I had to do the thing. I have to do a certain number of hours of firefighting brigade.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that. Just mention my name.
Oh, wow, that would be really appreciative.
They owe me so much. There are so many favors they owe me.
I want to take you up on that, sir. I will take. And then I'll owe you I almost said I owe you a favor. I guess I will.
No. I have no more need of favors. I have, because, you're not the sort of lady whose favors I would like to, that's fine. So let me just say that the Watchful Order, you just say, I'd like this chest open, and I'd like its contents if they're not bad, and I'd like you to open it a safe distance outside the city in case they are bad.
Yeah, they've tend to ask me to do most of my magic a safe distance outside the city. That's kind of
they're just party poopers.
They really are. It's just lighten up. One of the whole reasons of one of the whole joys of being a wild magic sorcerer is every now and then something goes wrong. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's not. There was one of the pranks that we have pulled before is one of my my spells will go awry, and then for
Yes.
some reason I can't get drunk for like a couple weeks or a few days. So we've been able to use that, leverage that to make a lot of money at bars, challenging
Yes.
the biggest, strongest, whatever's in there to a drinking contest.
Yes, quite.
And also, we were wanted in, I think, 3 kingdoms at one time for that very same trick. Swan we had to pull in some church favors to get us out of one of those, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mirt, you haven't lived until you've been buried inside a carriage load of iron ore, so they can smuggle it out of the city, and then things just then they go off the rails.
That's a whole other...
Yes, you probably don't want to tell me, because then someone else knows.
Well, okay, we let it go. Just the same way we like to deal with the stupid Zent, their dumbness. It's like, come at us. At this point, we're just old hats at this thing. Also, if you still have a bounty on me and Swan, and we've been in Waterdeep for like 5 years, for God's sakes, man, do your research.
Yeah, if you have a bounty, we literally broadcast from this tavern every week to every corner of the realm. Like, if you still can't find us, you're not really trying very hard.
And also, you come to collect a bounty in the Yawning Portal, where Durnan is literally 100 yards over there. Good luck.
Yes. Well, the Zents. They're Zents. They're not the sharpest knives in the drawer.
Yeah, God, no. Right, yeah, I've called them, what is this one? I've called them not the brightest light spell. Yeah, and Durnan, I know he's getting, he's not old, right? I know that, but have you ever seen a man still capable of swinging a sword more than Durnan? He just has that want to choke him on him, I just so terrified of him. Sorry, I digress. I did it again.
Okay, Mirt, now I feel like we're old friends at this point. We're a couple drinks in, and I'm in to have this opportunity again, so I'm going to ask maybe the dumbest question I can think of, which is that, did Durnan always have that mustache?
No.
Wait a minute. There was a time where he did not have the mustache?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes. He was a square-jawed, clear-thinking, like I said, he was like this barbarian Conan that that Elminster brought us all these lovely books with the lurid covers. And Durnan looked like a young Conan for years.
I would really love to get my hands on one of those books if you had any of those. Maybe 2 favors, Mirt, before you leave today?
Geez, where would I find such a thing? Because you see, Elminster confiscated them all from me. He
did.
Borrowed them, and he's never returned them. He said I wasn't old enough for some of those seats.
Old enough?
Yes.
All right. Just another question about Waterdeep specifically, and the inhabitants of it. I want to see if we kind of agree on something. How do you feel about some of the nobility? Some of the old Waterdeep nobles.
What do you mean? Which ones should have been drowned at birth?
Right. Yes, exactly. Can we please talk about the Castellanters? They owe me so much money. I can't even imagine.
The Castellanters are such pretenders. They're not really noble. They don't know how to behave.
And everyone knows that they're not exactly on the up and up, and we just all kind of pretend that they are. It's ridiculous, right?
Well, no, okay. Just to be play devil's advocate here for a moment, to use
I see what you did there.
Wasn't that good? Yeah, yes. You see, every noble has a fiddle or 6, or they aren't noble anymore because they can't afford to be. They've had to sell their title years ago. So every noble family has its side fiddles and its corruptions, and the one thing about being rich is you can indulge your eccentricities. So they all have their weird habits that will get them arrested in most countries. And they all have their how shall we put it, moments of dubious judgment. But the Castellanters are just, they're such lower class, cheap trash with perfumed airs. They don't know how to do it.
Thank you for validating how I feel about them.
You have no idea how much this is making his day.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, but it's true, you see. I mean, gosh, they give nobility a bad name. It's almost like something you've picked up in the street.
Like you picked it up at a garage sale that other nobles have had.
Yes. Well said, sir. Well said.
Also, Mirt, I gotta ask, have you ever financed a noble family that was in need? I feel like that's kind of up your alley.
Oh, many of them. You see, as a moneylender, that's what I do. And you see, if you finance a needy noble, then that needy noble is somewhat under your thumb. And that's where we want to keep all of our nobles, under our thumbs. So we never miss a chance. to help out a noble in need, because a noble in need is a noble who serves you indeed. So we do that sort of thing all the time. They hate it, the little dears, but they can't stop gambling and needing money and generally being idiots.
Young
And-
adventurers, I hope you're writing this down. This is great advice. If you can get a noble to owe you, sorry, let's continue. Yes.
Yes, that's it exactly. And I mean, that's what you need in life. If you're going to be an idiot, somebody is going to make you pay. That's the definition of being an idiot, having to pay for your sins. If you don't have to pay for your sins, well, then you got away with it, didn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah, the Castellans especially. Low rent, low class. We all see you. I
Yes.
imagine they're not the only, or there are several entities, we'll call them, local and afar, who have the Castellans in their pockets, as to say. And I'm sure it's the other way. I really have a pleasant relationship with the Amcathras, mostly because of the brewing and the vintage and the they're a bit more of, I say, Swanee's like pragmatic, right? They're a bit more of
I have a soft spot for the Amcathras because Morngrim
Yes.
was a good chap, and when I first made the acquaintance of Morngrim, he was young and impressionable, so I was able to leave my impression on him in several places, and therefore he was most amenable to being led around by the nose to the various fest halls, and therefore he looked upon old Uncle Mirt as something of a mentor, a guide, a treasure, so to speak. And I've never been a treasure before. It was fun. And then, of course, when I needed bailing out, I called on my good friend Morngrim, and he bailed me out. It was wonderful.
That's the kind of relationship you should have with nobles. Again, young adventurers, seriously, if you can find a way to, maybe help guide. They can't see the thing I'm doing, can they, Swan?
Nope. Just so the record, he's doing the sort of air quotes thing here.
The help guide young nobility. Help guide them. Get them in your not employ, I guess. Get them in your debt, right? Get a noble in your debt. You can avoid some altercations with the local magistrates. Perhaps some forgiveness when it comes to bounties and whatnot. And all right, Mirt. So wow, I really hope everybody is really writing this down. Can I ask? I know we've bended your ear for quite some time, and I
No problem.
indulging our curiosities. If you could say that, what is that monster, or maybe that villain, or maybe that thing that actually worries the old walrus? Like, what is that one thing? Swan, am I asking that question the right kind of way? Help me out here, buddy.
Yeah, Mirt. I mean, you have the kind of power every young adventurer aspires to, right? But everybody has enemies, no matter what. So, what worries you? What keeps you up?
Oh, I love that. Keep the flattery coming. Yes. I'm worried about husbands coming home too soon. No. No. Let me. Let's see.
I imagine.
Well, yes.
I imagine that's also happened more than once.
Yes, it has, as a matter of fact. And I also worry about Laeral seeing through me, because she has her limits to her tolerance. And although she knows the old wolf, and I mean knows the old wolf, there's still times when she'll say, "No, I think that's quite enough." And then I have to behave, and that ruins my day. It's but let's see. What makes me quake in my boots? Who do I worry about? And I would say who I worry about the most is somebody like Larlock, turning his attention to all of us, because you see, the likes of Larlock, they entertain themselves by manipulating the living, and although we're all manipulated, and that is after all what rulers do, and I've manipulated good folk of Waterdeep and neighboring cities a time or two myself.
We have to do that as adventurers, right?
Yes, but I would get worried if someone of the likes of Larlock decided they were going to, I don't know, toy with us for a decade or so. It would sort of ruin things for a lot of people.
I don't think people understand exactly how powerful and scary Larlock really is. If I understand it, he had dealings with the Shadowdale folk not too well. It was quite some time ago, but like with mixed dealings after sending some of his liches, and then he had a conversation, almost pleasant, with I don't remember which one of the knights, but this is all rumor and hearsay that came to me secondhand, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't remember exactly. But I can't imagine what it's like dealing with someone who's centuries old, that level of intellect and power. Yeah, he scares me too. I guess is what I'm going at. Like, there's not a lot of things that'll scare old boots. boots, but
Yes, that's exactly. And I mean, this is Larlock. He has liches working for him that could make Zastam quiver. So and he has a whole bunch of them working for him, so he doesn't have to do the dirty work himself because he likes to sit there and study things. And what he's studying is what he'll manipulate next, and that, frankly, scares the liver out of me because I like my freedom. And my liver, yes. What little there is left of it, after all these years. So I mean, I don't like the thought of somebody being amused by what they'll do to me today. There's something that sticks in my craw at the thought of that.
Yeah, I imagine it does for a lot of us. Also, young adventurers, just so you're clear, Larlock is the, we're going to call him the ruler of the Warlock Crypt, just for brevity's sake. And I do want to not gloss over that one thing that emerges like so, kind of casually throughout there. Liches working for him. If that's not terrifying, I don't know what is. Liches that are more powerful than the lead necromancer, the Lord Necromancer, or whatever the hell Zastam is of Thay, more powerful than him.
Yes.
You're talking about an entity for whom liches are effectively middle management.
Yeah,
yes, that's it, exactly.
Can you make like Zastam is like running an alchemical shop down there by the graveyard?
Yes, and if middle management doesn't scare you, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, that's like, we're getting caught up in the Waterdeep bureaucracy quite a few times. That's almost as scary as Zastam.
Yes.
And don't go looking for this person, young adventurers. Stay away from the Troll Hills. That's it. Just please don't do that. Or maybe do. And you'll end up on Don't Poke the Owlbear, where our segment where we read about how dumbass adventurers has died. That's a thing too. Go for it.
Yes.
Or don't.
Yes. Yeah. There is a think about it. If you want to move out of the way, so say a younger sibling can inherit, go right ahead and look up Larlock, and then the younger sibling will get everything that you're no longer around to enjoy.
Right. You can treat your younger sibling by pursuing Larlock or again joining the Glaziers Guild.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll give you a map. Don't worry about it. That'll be one of our quest items. A map. Oh, God.
Yes, it's a map headed Dead Man Blundering.
Oh, God, I can't even imagine. That's just so stupid. That's dumb even for me. Like, we wouldn't even entertain the idea of, like, attacking one of the liches or one of the cults that were even, like, tangentially related with a Larlock. So, and me and Swan had a niche, but no, thank you. Hard pass, sir. Hard pass.
Oh, you'll need more than a niche. You'll need a sarcophagus.
Yeah. Or maybe a small urn.
Urn,
yes. There won't be
yes,
much left.
You must earn it. What is that? Yes, yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. Honestly, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Swanee, are we good for this week?
Oh my God, we are so good.
We're so good. All
You're
right.
so good? Oh.
So, Mirt, you want to stick around and get drunk with us and have and tell dumb stories while no one's actually listening?
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
we do have some of this. The elves, the satyrs in the Feywild made us this whiskey that doesn't give us hangovers. You ever tried some of that? We got a couple bottles of that we can get.
If I could meet a whiskey that won't give me hangovers, I would very much like to meet that.
Sir, you are in for a treat.
Oh.
All right. So until next time, I want to thank everyone for listening. Thank you, Mirt, for stopping by and hanging out with us for this.
The pleasure was somewhat mine.
It was mostly ours, if we're honest, right? So until next week, don't die out there, young adventurers, and try to be nice to each other, for God's sakes.
Yeah, sincerely. Thanks, Mirt. And hey, everybody, have a good week, and don't die.
Don't die? Oh, my goodness. Where's the entertainment going to come from then?
Thank you for listening. See you next week on Road and Flagon. If you don't die, so don't die.